This, my friends, is what we're going to call super casual filming. I am literally getting ready to host a few of my friends. They are on their way and they should be here shortly, but I figured while I am all dolled up, let me just film a smash or pass ahead of time. If this is your first time on this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I do this series on this channel called Smash or Pass, where every week I talk about the new fragrances that have been announced over the past week. When you're seeing this, I will be in Dubai. So as a result, I've been kind of like filming a lot of videos like in advance, and I figured I might as well do a smash or pass video with the fragrances I didn't get a chance to put in when you see this last week's video. Since there have been a lot of new releases on the market lately, I did miss a few, so I figured might as well aggregate them into this video and talk about them. There have also been some releases that have been announced since I filmed that video, so this is going to be a hodgepodge of all those fragrance releases in one video. And if you want to keep up with my time in Dubai and the Middle East in general, because I'm not just going to Dubai, then you can follow my TikTok and Instagram under the username ANECHKAFRAGRANCES for more ready insights. With that being said, if this is your first time watching this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I film videos on this channel every day. We're not doing that. I film videos 3 times a week. Or I publish videos. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, along with a lot of shorts in between. And I also have a podcast. It's called The Fragrance Report, where I talk about fragrance history. If you haven't already, I definitely invite you to check out last week's episode where we talked all about Estee Lauder. That was one of my favorite episodes to produce because there is so much information about Estee Lauder available that I found utterly fascinating. So if you're interested in history, definitely do check that out. It's available on Spotify and here on YouTube. And in addition to that, if you want to be a little bit more mindful about how much money you're spending on fragrances, I have just a solution for you. It's a fragrance collection log and expense tracker. Is available in my stand store. So with that being said, we have a lot to get through. My friends are going to be here soon. I'm going to have to wrap up filming. So let's get into it. I must say, everyone has so many comments to make about my sound constantly, and this video, as well as some of my other videos lately, have been filmed using my phone's voice recording app, because that seems to be better than the microphone that I ended up paying for that no one seemed to like. I have literally bought not one, but 2 microphones, and both of those microphones have been met with like very bad feedback. So we're filming on the phone. First up, we have a release that you might recognize. This is a relaunch, actually, of the iconic Melanie Martinez Crybaby perfume. This fragrance was first released, when was it? In 2016, and basically it's been sold out for 5 years, and it's been relaunched in celebration of the 10-year anniversary of Melanie Martinez's Crybaby album. Now, if you are new to the industry, let me tell you, this fragrance has been one of the cult favorites for such a really long time. It basically has notes of, it's a lactonic sweet fragrance, and it has notes of milk, strawberry, and forest fruits at the top, amid a powdery notes, and then base of caramel and woody notes. So this has been released for pre-sale. I'm pretty sure it's already sold out, but I might be wrong. But I just want to say, it's quite interesting because this fragrance was being sold for as much as $1,000 on like eBay. People were talking about it on social media. People were getting it off of Mercari, and it just goes to show that sometimes people will price an item, any item, including fragrances, based off of demand and based off of scarcity. So it's something to note. I don't think I personally would ever spend an obscene amount of money on a fragrance, even if it has been discontinued. It's just not something that really feels authentic to me. I understand people doing it. I feel like everyone has like their own pleasures that they'll spend their money on, but I do think it's interesting that we had this kind of like scarcity mindset with this fragrance, and now it's back for a relaunch. So moving on to the next fragrance, we have something from Swiss Arabian. So Swiss Arabian has been launching some fragrances. I believe this might be in anticipation of Beauty World, but I specifically want to talk about Enigma of Taif. So this fragrance is a dark and fruity perfume with ambery notes. It has notes of black pepper, pink pepper, cardamom, elemi, and plum at the top, amid of osmanthus, Taif, rose, olibanum, saffron, and violet, and then a base of labdanum, molasses, vetiver, amber, and oak tree. So it sounds interesting. I didn't try the original Taif, so if you have tried it, let me know what you think. I will be testing this when I'm in Beauty World. If I happened to come across it. This is rather interesting. So we have some launches by Christian Provenzano. Christian Provenzano is like one of those perfumers that's absolutely iconic. He has had so many creations under his belt, and he has his own line. And they have like these like super luxe, very like, you know, gemstone studded bottles. Like it's like absolutely luxurious, on par with Fragrance du Bois. So he has launched these 3 new fragrances, I believe. So let's talk about them. First, we have Guanabana, and this is a warm, spicy fragrance with notes of grapefruit, pineapple, raspberry, cardamom, saffron, ginger, peach, and soursop at the top, and a mid of Taif rose, geranium, pepper, and mate, and then a base of Cambodian oud, patchouli, labdanum, vanilla, incense, amber, suede, and sandalwood. We then have the fragrance Sirocco. So Sirocco has notes of juniper berries, bergamot, cinnamon, mandarin, and ginger at the top, a mid of rose de maille, osmanthus, neroli, and tea, and then a base of incense, amber, and musk. And then last but certainly not least, we have Nuit de Noces. So this fragrance will have notes of angelica, petitgrain, bergamot, and mandarin orange at the top, a mid of heliotrope, jasmine, and rose, and then a base of vanilla, amber, incense, brown sugar, musk, and rock rose. This is the kind of fragrance brand that is absolutely on my wish list. I have had this entire line on my wish list since I first saw them at Essence in 2024. I think, yeah, it's been a really long time. These are very luxe bottles. They're very opulent. These are very luxe bottles. They're very opulent, and quite frankly, the juniper berry one is the fragrance that really stood out to me the most. But let me know, have you tried any of their fragrances? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. But in general, this is something to keep an eye out for. I do also want to talk about this fragrance by Born to Stand Out. This is a sweet lactonic vanilla perfume, and it basically has notes of liquor, butter, and cocoa at the top, mid of liquor, condensed milk, whipped cream, caramel, burnt sugar, cacao, and ginger, and then a base of marshmallow, cookie dough, vanille absolute, brown sugar, musk, and ambrette. I must say, when I originally saw this fragrance, I was anticipating something that would be like just chocolate and vanilla and that's it, and I was ready to write this fragrance off completely, but something about the marshmallow, the kind of booziness really stands out to me. I feel like this would be something I would be interested in sampling. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of Estrella de la Mañana by Une Nuit Nomade. That fragrance is a beautiful leathery cocoa and vanilla fragrance. It has some spices to it, so it's basically vanilla and chocolate, but done in a very unique way, to the point that I would still recommend trying that fragrance, perhaps adding it to your collection if you even already have lactonic fragrances, even if you already have a vanilla or chocolate fragrances, because that fragrance is so good. This, in my mind, is kind of similar. I mean, I haven't tried it yet because it does have, yes, that chocolate and vanilla. It is kind of like, when you think about it that way, it's pretty basic, but then you actually look at the scent pyramid, you look at the fact that it has marshmallow, cookie dough, liquor, and it starts to kind of be this fragrance that could possibly be worthy of adding into your collection, even if you already have chocolate and vanilla already. So this is something that would I go out of my way to try it? Probably not, because I don't really crave this kind of fragrance right now, but I would still be interested in testing it out, if only to see how the kind of booziness, like how the liquor notes interact with the rest of the scent pyramid. This new release by Stora Skuggan really stood out to me. I feel like this is a brand that I've seen pop up at like some indie niche fragrance stores, and this release really stood out to me because look at that beautiful bottle design, specifically like that little jewel at the top. This is Monkey Flower by Stora Skuggan. This is green and herbal. I'm looking at those accords already. This sounds like something I'll be interested in trying out. Basically, you have herbal notes, sunscreen at the top, a mid of fig, buttercup, chamomile, and then a base of musk and hay. This sounds like it would be right up my alley. Absolutely. Like, there's something about the hay note, like at face value, one might think that the hay note is going to be something that's like a little bit unsavory. For me, there's something quite interesting about the idea of putting hay in a fragrance, because there's like that sense of comfort that I personally get with fragrances that are grassy, a little bit more herbal, and this sounds like something I've never seen before. I have never seen a fragrance that pairs sunscreen with herbal notes. So this will definitely be something I'm interested in trying. Let me know what you think of this. Okay, so my friends are downstairs. I have to go get them, so I'm just going to wrap this up right here. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this video. That's all I'm going to cover for today. Let me know, did anything stand out to you? Was there anything that you found to be of particular interest? I'm curious to hear your thoughts about these in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching till the end of this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!